What's up, y'all? Janique here. This is real informal. I just wanted to hop on real quick. I just got back from a birthday party for my homegirl's daughter, and I got something on my mind, and I want to go ahead and just make a video real quick. So I want to talk to single mothers, single parents in general, but most importantly, single mothers. I don't think when people have kids, people understand, like, this is a job you're taking on to coach and develop a person, like to really bring another human being up and make them the best possible version of you that they can be, right? Because your child is really a reflection of you. Parents don't like to take responsibility for their kids, but sometimes you have to, right? For certain things. I mean, not everything. So, you know, people are their own people, but not everything. So, but you have to take responsibility for your part in your child's life, for your part in your child's personality, your part in your child's attitude, your part in their character. Like, you have a part in it, right? People don't think about how serious of a job it is to raise a child. Hell, our parents really didn't, right? So, everybody makes mistakes. There's no such thing as perfect parenting, but I want to make sure I get it as close to perfect as I can, right? On the way up, you know what I'm saying? And I know your kids don't really understand why you do things up front, but later on in life, you know, they think about, oh, you know, well, this is why this happened. This was good for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad my parents did this because it made me this, you know? So it's not about the now, it's about the future. It's really not about what's happening now, it's about what's going to happen. That's so important. So I wanted to talk to single mothers about taking your job as a parent seriously. Like I just said, I just left a birthday party, right? At the birthday party, before the birthday party, me and my son, we went shopping to go get some gifts for the little girl. And we were good. We had a great day for real. You know what I'm saying? I worked out this morning. He worked out with me. Like, we did his hair together. Like, we did a lot today. So we really enjoyed our day, right, at first. And then the party started at 2. We get to the party. And when we get to the party, my son immediately starts acting up, like, attitude on 10. Like, he not answering the adults in the room. Like, he literally has an attitude. Anytime I try to talk to him, he got an attitude with me. And I'm like, what is up with you? You sleepy? Like, what's going on? And this story that I'm giving to you guys is not for you to judge my parenting, because at the end of the day, don't worry about it. Don't worry about my parenting skills, but I'm trying to give some advice to the parents who need this, who need to hear this right here. So, my son, he was being very rude to the little girl, and he kept calling her the wrong name. He has another little friend he likes, and her name is one thing. And I told him before we even went, I said, "Are you excited to go to this girl's birthday party?" And he's like, yeah, but he kept calling her the whole day. Every time he buying a gift, he kept calling her the other girl's name, and I correct him every time. So he knows good and well what the girl's name is, right? And this, I'm going to pop out really quick in my story to talk about our relationship. I'll come back to it. But I want to come back to relationships, because when you raise a child, you get to see how men grow up. Especially if you have a son, you get to see how men grew up. Like, you get to see, like, what kind of things happened in their life that made them who they are today. Like, you see the product of what will happen if you allow certain things in your child, right? So if you allow if you allow your child to be selfish, he grows up to be a selfish man, right? If you allow your son to be, to be rude, he's going to grow up to be a rude man. If you allow your son to hit girls, he's going to grow up and hit women. If you allow your son to disrespect women, he is going to grow up to disrespect more women. You know what I'm saying? So if he is, if he has a bad temper when he's a child, he's going to grow up and have a bad temper as a man. You know what I'm saying? So I see the product of parenting. You know what I'm saying? So for me, parenting is a serious job for me, and I don't take it lightly, and I don't play about my child. You know what I'm saying? So any opportunity you have with your child, every interaction you have with your child, let me say that. Every interaction you have with your child is a learning experience for you or for them. You know, I don't know who it's going to be for, but somebody's learning something every time you interact with your child, right? So hopefully you're teaching them something, but when you are a single mom, especially with a son, you are being taught lessons every day. You are being taught to respect yourself. You are being taught not to tolerate anything from a man, because a boy is just a little man. You know what I'm saying? That's where these men that we date, that's where they started. So you have to, if you don't have no type of relationship with your son to where he's respecting you, where he's, you know what I'm saying, trying to help you, you know what I'm saying, where he's not selfish with you, where he communicates about his feelings, you know what I'm saying? If you are not building these kind of things in your son, he's going to grow up and be one of these men we date. And I don't play like that. So let me go back to my story. So I took my son. He had that bad attitude, and I kept talking to him throughout it. I'm like, yo, you being mad rude. I kept telling him, like, stop playing with that girl's name. Like, that's not cute. You know what I'm saying? You like her any other time. You know her name because he talks about her. So you're being cute. Why? And you don't think it starts that little because my son is 4. So you don't even think it starts that early, but it starts that early. You have to correct these behaviors that early. And if you stop trying to shut your child up, you stop trying to control them, you see what kind of characteristics they have. They wouldn't be hiding them from you and then expressing that at school. And then the teacher call you and tell you your son did this. You like, my son would never do that. Yeah, he's scared of you, so he's not doing it in front of you. But as soon as he go to school, he's acting like that. My son, we have a very open relationship, so he knows he can talk to me. He knows he's not afraid of me to where he thinks I'm gonna kill him or anything like that. So he can be himself. I allow him to be himself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he is his own spirit, and he came here. You know, I was a willing vessel, and I brought him through the portal here to earth. And, you know, I have to develop his character. That's what I have to do, really develop his character. That's my job, and I take it seriously. So when he's doing that at a party, I let him know immediately, like, we will leave. I told him that before we even went. We will not stay. If you do not act right, like, we not staying. I'm letting you know that right now. You're not going to go in here and show your butt. Like, that's not cute because he thinks it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he's trying to piss anybody off, but he thinks it's funny. And as a little man, again, he is willing to test me to my limits. He is going to go as far as I let him. Parents, mothers, listen, your son is going to go as far as you let him. And it's your job to raise a better man than these men we dating out here. So my son kept testing me, rolling his eyes. He's not respecting the women in there. I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and go. So he tells me no, he doesn't want to go. You know what I'm saying? And this is a part that kills me. The people in the party, like the other parents, you know, they don't have no kids there, but their kids are grown. But they like, no, let him stay. He said he want to stay. Like, don't interrupt my parenting. You know what I'm saying? This is a learning experience for my child. If I let him cut up here, he's going to go to every other birthday party for the rest of his life and do the same thing. I do not play like that. It's important, and they kept trying to convince me to let him stay. Why would I reward bad behavior? You know what I'm saying? Come on, it's a learning experience. Like, my son, if I didn't make him lead that party, he's gonna go on to do that every other party we go to. He's gonna show his butt because and shame on the parents who don't think this is showing your butt, right? These kids are disrespectful. I encounter a lot of people's kids, and my son is amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have problems with my son. So when I go out and have a problem with him, that's why I shut it down, because you don't normally act like that. So we're not finna get here today. You act like that, and you think we finna play party games. You finna do tie-dye. We finna eat party cake. You know, we're not finna cut the cake with her. No, we finna go. You know, so I say all this to say, the people we interact with on a daily basis are products of parenting. So if you are a parent, you have to take this seriously, okay? The people that you encounter that you don't like their character, you don't like how they act, their morals and values and stuff, those are the people you need to take some tips from. You need to be like, okay, look, I know if I don't correct this behavior, my child is going to grow up to do this. My child is going to grow up to be this way, and I can't allow that. I want to raise a productive member of society. I want a woman one day to say, my son is the best man she's ever met. I don't want a bunch of women to be encountering my son, you know, or have bad experience with him. I don't want my son to beat up no woman. I don't want my son to disrespect a woman. I don't want my son to ever be in any of these predicaments with a women that I watch men in today. I don't want to, and if I can avoid that just by parenting better, just by paying attention and not allowing him to just roam free and do what he wants to do at 4, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is so important. So what I did when I came home, because he thought I was going to beat him, and I am so serious when I say I don't want to beat my child. I don't want to put hands on my child. I don't want to even have to discipline him in a physical way like that. Like, I don't want to put hands on it, because that's what our parents did. Let's be honest. Like, people know your mom will hit you upside the head. You say the wrong thing to her. I fought my mom before, you know what I'm saying? So I know how the parenting can go, and I don't want to have that type of relationship with my child. So I don't want to keep whipping you. I don't want to pull out a belt. Like, you're a man, and I watch men these days who I could tell they got hit by women and they hate women. They hate women. I know a man who hates a woman, and it's because she used to beat him and she was too hard on him. And I just try to have that balance between that in my relationship with my son, and I don't want to beat him. I'm really, and he's getting older. I don't want to beat him like that. For me, I don't want to have to put my hands on you. I don't want to have to pull out a belt. I don't want to even have to threaten you. I just want you to do what I want you to do, and it's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. That's why I want him to understand, when you are good, you have the best life. And this is going to bring me, I got to throw a Bible reference in there. Because God is our Father, right? When you are good, you have a great life, a blessed life, a life that's smooth and easy going. Now, let's be clear. Everybody has trouble. So I'm not saying you won't have trouble, but for the most part, your better days are going to be your better days. You know what I'm saying? So you can have such an easy life with me. I don't want too much. I just want you to grow up to be a respectful young man. A beautiful young man, a man with a beautiful spirit and soul who's going to be a blessing to everybody he encounters. That's what I want for you. I don't want you to be hell. I don't want people who be like, they kids are bad. Okay, your kid is bad. What are you going to do about it? You going to let him keep being bad? I don't play like that. Even something as small as a birthday party. I don't have a lot of problems with my son, but something as small as a birthday party, you have to take that seriously, because he'll go everywhere else and do that. I don't play that. You let it slide one time, you'll be letting it slide forever. I'm telling you, you have to discipline the kids. So we got home, he thought I was going to beat him. He kept talking about it the whole time. And this is my thing too also, like, you have to instill trust in your child. If your child does not trust you, he's going to, even kids are inquisitive, but you really have to build trust to the point where they don't want to even ask you no questions, because they trust your judgment. They trust what you're saying. As God does, right? God does not want you to ask a bunch of questions, because he wants you to trust his judgment, where he's going with this, what he has planned for you, right? So that's how I kind of had my relationship with my son. So I took all the toys. That's what he cares about. He cares about toys, iPad, and TV. I took everything out of the room. His room is bare. All he got in there is his bed. He got a TV in there because I couldn't take it off the wall. It's mounted. But he got his bed and his clothes in there. That's all he got. But I have to talk to him all the time and let him know, like, baby, when I was growing up, I didn't have no iPad. I never had an iPad. I didn't get my first iPad until 2 years ago. I was 26 when I got my iPad. I got an iPad at 26. You playing with an iPad at 4. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a cell phone until I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to play on my parents' cell phone. They did not play that. I wasn't able to, just watch whatever I wanted on TV. I had to literally watch Jeopardy before I could watch anything else. And I had to get at least one question right. Now, it doesn't sound hard, but go ahead and watch Jeopardy and see how you feel. Like, no, for real. Go watch an episode of Jeopardy and tell me how many questions you get right. Make sure I got something right every night. What? But that's what kind of parent I had, and it made me who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, that's something I could take from my parents that was beneficial to me. Like, me not watching a bunch of TV made me a person. Now today, I don't watch a bunch of TV. I can get into shows like, oh, y'all know I'm into Power. You know I'm in the Power Book too, but I'm not on the TV, the TV stuff all day. I don't have a bunch of shows I gotta sit right there and line up and watch. There's some shows that definitely, if I watch it captured my attention, and I can lock in with it and stay with it while it grows. But I'm not a big TV head. I don't get up and watch TV all day. I can't. I make sure I catch Power. I catch Our Kind of People on Tuesdays, but they just had a season finale. So if you haven't seen Our Kind of People, that is a great show. I also lock into Insecure, but that's off now. Other than that, and Harlem, they got Harlem on Amazon. I watch that too, but other than that, I don't watch anything else. I don't be sitting there on a bunch of shows all day. I can't. So I literally don't have the attention span. Like, it doesn't feed me anything that I need. It doesn't make me more intelligent to sit right there and watch TV all day, unless I'm watching a bunch of documentaries. And even then, I'm taking in other people's stories instead of my own stories. So I don't like to focus on the TV. But I let them know, like, I didn't have a bunch of toys everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any of that. I wasn't able to just go in the kitchen and get what I wanted to eat. I had to ask my parents for permission first. You know what I'm saying? Before I was able to get up and just go eat everything. Because my son, literally, he'll go eat up the same thing. Like, if I buy 5 of the same thing, he can eat it in a day. Like, real talk. If he loves it that much, because he loves certain stuff, like, he'll go eat it all up. Like, if I were to do that when I was a child, I would have got my butt kicked for eating everything that my parents worked so hard to buy. But that's the kind of story I had. So it's really important to let your kids know where you came from, what kind of childhood that you had. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, like, this is not normal. Like, This is a want. It's not a need. You know, I wasn't going out and having the best clothes on, the best shoes. I remember wearing USPA one time, you know what I'm saying, and not knowing what it meant. My parents bought it for me, and then once I found out at school, I stopped wearing it. But at the same time, I had to go through those things. My parents didn't get me the best shoes that they could have got me. My parents didn't give me name brand like they could have got me. My parents didn't do any of that because they didn't think it was important. But for me, I don't think it's as important, but I make sure you look very nice, son. You look very nice. Some kids have nothing. They have nothing. And it's important to kind of instill that in your child. Some kids don't have this. This is a luxury. I need you to understand, it's a luxury to sleep in your own bed. There are some households where the kids is piled up in the bed. Stuff happening in the bed. Like literally, it's a blessing that you have your own space. I remember growing up and having to share a room. You feel me? Like, it's so important to let these kids know like what kind of childhood you had, because listen, this is better. I'm telling you, if I raised you how my parents raised me, you wouldn't be able to take it. This new generation is soft. They would not even be able to take the kind of parenting that we had, because I be trying to do little things with my son, he can't take it. I'm like, bro, you are spoiled, and I can't play games like that. So I say all this to say, take your parenting very seriously. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how small it is, correct it, because you're gonna be happy you did later, as opposed to if you didn't. If you don't correct it now, it's gonna grow into a bigger problem, and it's gonna grow into a bigger human being, right? Who interacts with other human beings and, you know, impacts their experience negatively. So we don't want that. Like, I'm trying to raise the best man possible. The best man possible. I'm telling you, the best black man possible alone, because at the end of the day, let's be 100. The dad always doesn't care how the kid grows up for real. They don't care who they are later. They care about now, because people always are focused on the present instead of looking at where you're going. Who do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? So one parent has to take initiative. One parent has to step up. When you see things are not right, when you see things are not well in a child, when you see things need to be corrected in a kid because it's going to grow up to be a bigger problem, you have to correct it. Don't be afraid to say nothing. Don't be afraid of your child. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to discipline them in a way that they're going to feel. You know what I'm saying? These kids, these whippings, I remember getting whippings when I was younger and eating them. Like, my parents used to ask me, like, you want to be on punishment for a week, or do you want to get a whipping? Like, beat me, please. I eat the legs. I used to be there eating legs. Like, I don't care. Hit me. I don't care. It made me stronger, but I don't want to do that with him. You know, I don't want to do that with my child. I'm going to take your things. I didn't have a lot of things growing up, so that for me wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? You had to whip me, you know what I'm saying, to piss me off and make me like, you know what? I don't want you to do that shit again. So forgive my language. I'm a work in progress. Let me tell you about the cursing. I am trying to clean up my language, because I don't have to curse to get my point across. I don't have to curse to get you to understand me. I don't have to curse to get anybody to feel me. So I am trying to clean up my language, but sometimes it does slip out. So just forgive me, work with me. The Lord knows exactly who I am, so I'm not tripping. But I say all this to say, you know, like, forgive your parents, man. They made mistakes, okay? Forgive them. I ain't saying you got to talk to them, but make sure they know that you forgive them for their part, even if they won't accept, you know, their responsibility in the part they played on you being who you are. But just correct what you don't like, you know what I'm saying? And especially in your kids. Watch your kids, man. Pay attention to your kids. Spend time with your kids. Recognize what they're doing. Don't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they growing up with other people's kids, and they're going to grow up to have a different type of experience. And we want to make sure everybody enjoys life here on earth. You feel me? So that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to grow. I know you're trying to grow with me. Let's go. And also make sure you click the bell notification. I don't want you to miss an episode of what I'm doing. My name is Janique. This is Janique TV, and I'll see you next time.